The 2026 Goku vs. Vegeta set to take place at All In London. The stakes have never been higher. The lights have never been brighter than what they are now. Will two friends that got the utmost love and respect for each other revert back to their old ways and be bitter rivals again? Will Osprey dig deep in the bag he haven't been in for years to finally be at the top of AEW? Tony Khan is doing it again, man. Just when my heart was broke because MJF got cheated out of being in the main event at All In. We got some surprising things happening now. Will Osprey and Kenny Omega could have probably opened up a Dunkin' Donuts or Krispy Kreme with all of the glazing they were doing to each other in the promo on Dynamite. I'm sorry, AEW sickos. This is just not something that has me on the edge of my seat and waiting for Wembley. But after watching Dynamite, I see a few Easter eggs was planted that we might have a pivot in the storyline after talking to the usual suspects. In the chat, they let me know, man, Will Osprey might be actually retiring his finisher move, the Hidden Blade. Oh! Why you say that, Bobby Monsoon? Because he'll be replacing that with the Sucker Punch. Him turning heel is something that a lot of us didn't see coming. So last night when people started suggesting in my chat that Will Osprey might turn heel, I completely shut the idea down, man. In my head, I'm thinking Will Osprey is the top babyface in AEW. They're going to be in his hometown of Wembley, and I'm thinking AEW is going to book him as a super babyface like a Hulk Hogan, John Cena, Roman Reigns, Cody Rhodes, or somebody like that. But a lot of people in my chat told me to do a little research on Osprey and New Japan Pro Wrestling. I had no idea how big of a heel he was there, man. Not only that, a very similar situation unfolded because just like Kenny Omega and AEW, Okada was Osprey's mentor in New Japan. He was the guy Osprey looked up to. Then he wound up stabbing him in the back during the G1 because he wanted to prove to everybody he was better than Okada and that he's the best in New Japan Pro Wrestling. Some might disagree and think, nah, Osprey is a changed man, and you might have a point, but let's remember, he's affiliated with the dirtiest player in the game after Ric Flair, and his name is Jon Moxley. Out of all the people in the world you could align yourself with, you choose the guy that almost killed AEW by holding the championship hostage in a case for over 9 months. And let's not act like Jon Moxley doesn't have a reason to want Kenny Omega to lose either. People was telling me go look at Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley and watch how Kenny cheated Moxley out of the championship. If I'm Moxley, why would I want to see the same dude that stole the championship become the face of AEW all over again? Jon Moxley is a wild card in this Kenny Omega Will Osprey storyline. For weeks they've been building this up with Kenny Omega taking little subliminal shots about how Will Osprey is cool with the Death Riders now, and Jon Moxley's been ignoring it, man, but I don't know how much that's gonna last. Yesterday on Dynamite, he ran into Kenny Omega and reminded him he's still around and some people don't change. Bro was staring a hole through the AEW championship, and I think this segment was fire, man. But this really got me thinking. Kenny Omega has always been the measuring stick for Will Osprey. Osprey lost to Kenny at Wrestle Kingdom, and the only time he ever beat Kenny Omega, Don Callis got involved. So even after everything Osprey has accomplished, there's gonna be some people saying he never truly surpassed Kenny Omega. Maybe Osprey starts thinking the only way to finally get out of Kenny Omega Omega's shadows is become ruthless again. I could literally see Moxley convincing Will Ospreay to turn on Omega, and not only that, take it to the next level, because that's the only way you're gonna beat him. Man, let me know what y'all think. Is Ospreay gonna do the unthinkable and turn heel, or nah, man? And if he does turn heel, should he turn heel before All In, or maybe at the end of All In? I don't know, man. And you also got to factor Kenny Omega turning heel too, man. That would be a crazy heel move, bro. If Kenny Omega put the knife in Ospreay back, screwed him at his biggest chance. Oh my God, that'd have been fire. You know what I mean? So I'm cool with the direction either way it goes on. Even though I wanted MJF in the main event at All In. You always can't get what you want, right? Now, speaking of MJF, I don't know if y'all saw this report from Fightful, but apparently MJF is expected to take some time off from AEW. Now, before everyone starts freaking out, they don't know why, man. They weren't told if it was his knee, if it was a Hollywood project, or if the man just needs a break, dog. Fightful also reported that MJF was the one who requested his AEW championship match against Kenny Omega to be moved from Redemption to Beach Break.
When I talked to Tony Khan for the first time, we were on the phone together for 2 hours. 2 hours with a kid who was 22 turning 23. And all we did was discuss the territories and our love of territory professional wrestling. I knew I would have a better opportunity and I would be given more of a leash. Now there's no leash at all because I'm just stupidly over and I just do whatever the hell I want. But I know I'd be given more of a leash based on the way my now boss was talking about what his vision is for professional wrestling.
Now, outside of being injured, I have no idea why MJF will want to drop the title on Dynamite instead of dropping it at Redemption. The pay-per-view is literally called Redemption. It's in Canada. It feels like the moment would have been better. It would have been bigger. The crowd would have went crazy. And the overall rollout would have just been on another level. If you ask me, I think it possibly has something to do with the injury, but if that's the case, then how are they so sure MJF is even going to be cleared for All In? I don't know, man. Let me know in the comments what y'all think. Whether you like it or not, MJF is a draw, dog. When he was a champion, the ratings saw a bump. He dropped the title to Darby Allin, and the ratings saw a slight decrease. Now, with Kenny Omega as champion, over the next few weeks, we're going to be paying close attention to see what the numbers look like. If you ask me, I think Kenny Omega with the title and the storylines that got going on, they won't have any problem drawing a solid 600,000 to 700,000 a week. But let me know what y'all think. Oh, why you say that, Bobby Monsoon, exclusively on BobbyMonsoon.com. Y'all asked for it and it's here. The Why You Say That t-shirt. I want to thank everybody that's copping the merch, that's liking, commenting, subscribing, hyping, everybody in my lives multiple times in the week, all the people in the chat. I want to thank everybody, man. Y'all really helped the channel grow. Thank you from the bottom of my heart. BobbyMonsoon.com. And Why You Say That shirt now. Back to the content. Dynamite started off with a fire segment from Will Ospreay and the Death Riders. They're somewhere in the back of whatever venue, whatever baller room. Will Ospreay practicing that hidden blade. Ooh, John Moxley, he's whispering in Will Ospreay's ear, man. He's letting him know it don't matter who the target is. Don't hesitate. When you take your shot, man. At the end of this segment, we see Will Ospreay continuously to throw these vicious elbows that might put somebody out there in misery if enough of them is thrown. This is crazy, man. I'm loving these Death Riders and Will Ospreay segments, man. After that, you had Cage and Cope retaining the titles against Daniel Garcia and Wheeler Yuta. This was a solid match, man. At the end of the match, you had the Death Riders and the Dogs coming out, putting damage to Cage and Cope, man. The Dogs take the cast off of Cage's arm, stomp on it, the whole nine. This was fire, man. You also had an interference from the Bang Bang Gang. Jay White coming out too, dog. So it seems like AEW is building up the Jay White versus Finley, and I think this would be a fire match heading into Redemption or even All In, to be honest. You had a backstage interview with Renee and Andrade. Andrade somehow got his hands on one of the most prized possessions in AEW, the diamond ring that belongs to the MJF. He said, man, how did I get it? Was it Will Osprey? How you know? This dude has been completely over the past few months, dog. I'm loving to see Andrade and the trajectory his career is going, the momentum he's building. From somebody that literally, I felt like yesterday, I just watched him in the Fed do absolutely nothing but have a 7-match banger series with Carmelo Hayes and get buried the rest of the way. Turn around, go to AEW. The TKO contract, they almost screwed him over. No non-compete for 100 months or whatever that was. Then turning around and actually, you know what I mean, having some classic matches, wanting the championship, turning on the Don Callis family, which, you know, I don't like that too much, but it is what it is, man. He coming out with the baddies now. He's doing the whole selfie thing, ripping the pants off. How you know? Dude is over, bro. Andrade fire, man. Now he has an opportunity at Redemption going against Mark Davis for the national championship. Is going to be an uphill battle, even for Andrade. Mark Davis is somebody else that has the momentum in his favor. Next, you got the celebration of Kenny Omega and the championship. They gave him the original AEW championship. It was cool, man. Osprey winds up coming out. They're cutting a promo of Vegeta and Goku. That's how he says it's gonna be now. Shout out to my man Jeffrey, man. Like, when I put out that video, a lot of y'all was mad at my take. Jeffrey literally basically said, you know what I mean, Will Osprey promo. So shout out to him, man. The Goku and Vegeta thing is definitely a good analogy, but you know, Osprey could turn heel, so you have that factor now as well. Next, you got the Jet coming out to confront Kenny Omega, letting him know, hey, bro, MJF owed me a title shot. You owe me a title shot now. Kenny Omega like, yo, bro, why do I have to fulfill MJF promise? But I'm going to fulfill it for you because I seen you come into this company. You got the factor. I'm an EVP. I'm one of the people that told Tony, sign the contract. Have Kevin Knight over in AEW. So he respects Kenny. And they'll be having a match at Redemption. To be honest, I was like, okay, this is like probably the most predictable match like you could have. We all know Kevin Knight is going to lose at Redemption. I think this is still a good situation for him. He gets to perform in front of Canada. He gets to perform against one of the best in the world, one of the most over superstars in the world, the main event. And All In, and this is just super predictable, but you know what I mean, this is just a push Kevin Knight forward even in a loss, man. Kenny Omega is definitely gonna come out on top at Redemption, and I wonder what's going on with the MJF situation. I just wish we did the MJF and Kenny Omega at Redemption. It just makes the most sense, but we gotta let it go, and I've been trying to let it go, but it's hard for me, so y'all gotta bear with me. After that, you got the match of the night for me, Commander versus Kyle Fletcher of the Don Callis family. Proving once again that he might be the greatest international champion the world has ever seen. Banger match from Kyle Fletcher and Commander, man. You could lose to Kyle Fletcher and it seems like you won because the match just was so good, dog. Fire match, these two tonight. Kyle Fletcher trying to take Commander mask off. I feel like we've been seeing this a lot lately, man. We've seen it versus the mask versus mask match. I think it happened on Raw with like Dragon Lee or somebody. Maybe Dragon Lee or Rey Mysterio. Either one of them got their mask took off. But Takeshita wind up coming out, you know what I mean, saving the day. And you get a little shoving match between these two. You also get a shoving match between Okada and Kyle Fletcher. Everybody want that international championship. If you ask me, I think going into All In, give me Okada, give me Takeshita, give me Kyle Fletcher. Triple threat match. You put the international championship on the line, I guarantee Kyle Fletcher retaining. But that's just me, though. I think that match will be fire for All In, bro. You got Darby Allin going over Brian Cage, to be honest. I don't know how Darby Allin walking out of this match. Brian Cage threw him into the ring post. The back of his head is hit the ring post. It was kind of crazy, man. But, Darby Allin pulled it off. Now, he's pulled up on Kenny Omega. Let him know that he wants to smoke with Kevin Knight for that TNT Championship. So they'll be facing each other next week on Dynamite for the TNT Championship. After that, you got, my man, Kyle Fletcher. Letting Bandito know, bro, you want smoke, I got it for you at Redemption for the International Championship. Now, this is the thing that got me a little bit weirded out, man. I got to make a few phone calls. You got Okada giving these little dirty looks behind Kyle Fletcher back. Hey, Okada, man, we lost Takeshita, we lost Andrade. Come on, bro. Let's keep it together. You're going to get your shot back at the title. My man Don Callis going to put the AEW Championship on a silver platter when the time's right. He's looking at Kyle Fletcher like, I don't know, is it a little bit of jealousy there, Okada? I don't know, man. At the end of the night, you got Mercedes Moné and Megan Bayne, Lena Cross beating Willow Nightingale, Maya World, and I forgot the other girl's name. But yeah, they wind up beating them. It was a cool match. I mean, this was just the main event, I felt like, because Mercedes Moné was in Boston, and I don't know, man. I'm kind of mad that, where is Tekla at, bro? I know they're not about to have Tekla lose to Willow Nightingale at Redemption and not be walking into All In as champion. Like, come on, bro. Tekla been holding it down for AEW all year. It's not even no debate. This woman been on the top of her game since she put the title around her waist. Forbidden Door just passed, dog. She had one of the biggest storylines of Forbidden Door. I love Willow Nightingale too. She's in my top 5. Her and Kyle Fletcher always, what I mean? I'll be going back and forth like who gets that spot. But she's in my top 5. So I just don't believe she should be walking into Wembley as champion after the performance, after the year, after the work Tekla's been doing, man. But let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. Solid Dynamite. Redemption is next week. I can't wait, man. Seems like it's going to be another fire pay-per-view. Then we got All In. Then we got the big business happening. So we'll see what happens. Let me know in the comments what you think about that. What you think about Will Osprey turning heel? Am I looking too deep into that? Is the chat wrong, man? Let me know in the comments, dog. Let me know what you think about MJF. Will MJF even be an All In at this point? I'm sure he will. I want to see him against Andrade, and believe it or not, I wouldn't be mad if Andrade win because his momentum is his momentum justifies it. But let me know in the comments what y'all think about that. It's Bobby Basu. 215, like, comment, subscribe.